In our grandparents' time, people had more time for fishing and growing their own food. Money wasn't so important, and our ancestors were more self-sufficient. But today, many of our Pacific islands are becoming overcrowded, and sometimes people only have a small piece of land to live on. Many of us have to find other ways of getting food and other items, and that usually means money. Even on very remote atolls like this one in Kiribati, people still need money. There are things like school fees, petrol for outboard motors, family commitments, and church obligations. We all know that money won't bring us everlasting happiness, but we also know that having no money can sometimes make us very unhappy. And when an outer island girl like this comes to town, she's in for a big shock. No. Today it seems as if you need money for everything.
You know, money no problem for me. I'm a great gardener. But there's one thing I've been trying to grow, but I just can't.
What's that, Uncle?
Money. I can't grow money.
I see. So you want to learn how to grow money, do you?
Don't be stupid. I've been trying for years. I planted cents, I planted dollar, I planted watu, I planted kina. Once I planted $50 US, and do you know what I got?
No, what?
Nothing. The beetles and the ant had eaten it.
So the only ones who got rich were the beetles and the ants, right?
That's right.
Well, suppose I were to show you a better way of growing money.
I told you, you can't grow money. It's a waste of time.
Yes, but I can show you a better way of doing it.
Are you trying to trick me?
Me? No, of course I'm just trying to help you.
Okay, but don't make a fool of me.
Would I do that? No, to start our story, we'll go to the island of Putaritari.
Putaritari, I do not want to go there. They are naughty people in Putaritari. My
dear and respected uncle, do you want to know how to grow money or not?
Yes, please.
Right, let's go to Putaritari. Putaritari is typical of many Pacific coral atolls. It's not large, it's very flat, and the soil is too poor for growing crops. Until recently, the main source of income has been copra. This is heavily subsidized by the Kiribati government, but unfortunately, not everyone has enough land to take part in this kind of income generation. Let's meet Sam and Maria. They have 5 children and several members of their extended family living with them. Their oldest daughter is nearly 21, and the youngest child has yet to start primary school. Their piece of land is quite small. In former times of need, Our grandfather sold off most of their land to outsiders, and there was very little left for Sam and his brothers and sisters. However, now there is a problem. Most of the trees on their land are becoming old, and less are bearing good fruit. Sam has planted new trees, but they're not yet mature enough to produce copra. All this has happened at a time when the family are facing many needs. Sam and Maria are very proud of their oldest son. Next year, he's won a 6th form place in the big government school in Tarawa. Eventually, he hopes to go to USP and train to become a marine engineer. But to support him through school next year, the family needs to find nearly $2,000 to cover extra needs. The family will face even more expense when the oldest daughter, Ruru, has her 21st birthday. Ruru enjoys working at the village preschool, but the pay is very small and she gives it all to her parents. I want to try hard at school and get good qualifications so I can get a secure job. Then I'll be able to care for my parents in their old age and support my brothers and sisters who are still at school. We all work together as best we can by going to the bush to cultivate taro and collecting pandanus leaves for thatches. Our parents have worked very hard for us when we were young, and I really worry about the big challenge our family's facing. Yes, it's a time of worry. How are we going to cope? There's only enough coconuts for pig food, nothing for copra. Perhaps we can get a loan from the bank in Tarawa. No, we won't qualify with them. If that's a problem, shall we try the village bank? That's even more difficult. We need more than they give out, and then we have to pay it all back by the end of the month. It's too difficult. What about that radio announcement I heard 2 days ago? I don't think you heard. It was from the seaweed people. It said, grow seaweed and grow your own money. That's right. I remember people talking about it. Oh, and I heard that there's a seaweed expert who's come from Tarawa. Let's go and see him. Then we can learn how to make money by growing seaweed. Taro works for the Atoll Seaweed Company in Tarawa. He's come here to assist the local agent, and tonight they've called a public meeting. We'll be there. We want to learn how to grow money. The chairman thanks everybody for coming and comments on how much interest there is in this new idea. He gives special thanks to Taro for traveling so far to bring good news. Taro formally acknowledges the elders and everybody present. Seaweed is a very simple crop. Unlike copra, you can harvest it all year round and make money. Seaweed brings quick benefit. Whether it's this size or even bigger, you can still harvest it and make money. That's why we say, grow seaweed, grow money. There are 3 varieties of seaweed or Eucheuma available on this island. Although they're different, they're all equally suitable. One variety was recently brought by your agent, Simon, and it's already flourishing. Perhaps it would now be best for me to answer any questions. Seaweed, what's it used for? It's sent to Denmark and the Philippines and has many uses.
The toothpicks, the lipstick, the ice cream.
It's also used to preserve canned food. Some people even eat it. We don't want to eat seaweed. I'm sure the money will taste better.
How?
Is there a market? There's a very big market and we can't supply it all. So start growing seaweed. Do you need to go to USB to be a farmer? Seaweed farming is quite simple. You don't need a degree, but you do need to monitor it twice a week to make sure your crop is good and healthy. We're always available for advice, especially your local agent here. He can help. Is it expensive to start? What do we need to buy? It's not expensive. In Kiribati, $15 would cover everything to start up. Are we women able to be farmers? It's an activity for everyone, men, women and children. And did you know that the top grower was a woman from Mayana? It's true. Newe from Mayana is a widow with a young family, and she was a top grower for many months. We asked her if there are times when a woman might need some male assistance. It's good if the males in the family can help with cutting stakes and dragging in the harvest. Anyone can handle the rest. If we start on this venture, what are we likely to earn? That's really up to you. The more you grow, the more you can earn. Terwa then describes the situation on Fanning Island. 1,800 people live on Fanning. Every month, the seaweed company sends between $60,000 to $80,000 for farmers there. Hey, they're rich. That's true. Many of them have bought boats and motorbikes. Their children go to boarding school, and some of them even go shopping in Fiji. If that's your goal, you can do it too. Thank you for bringing all this news to us about seaweed. Tell me, when can we start growing our own seaweed? Okay, tomorrow your agent and I will come to show you what's involved in growing your own money. Well, this is news which has made us all very happy. Ideally, you need to find a spot that's not too far from your house. Now in Kiribati, everything below the high water mark belongs to the government. But in some other Pacific countries, Fiji for instance, the beach and the reef belongs to the custom landowners or the village. Never start a farm without written permission from the landowners. Let's keep seaweed farming a peaceful activity. Putaritari has a large lagoon, and these protected waters are ideal for seaweed farming. However, on some other islands without lagoons, experiments are being carried out using the reef on the ocean side. Dara thinks this looks a good area for doing site tests. It's below the low tide mark, the water's moving, and the bottom is clear of other seaweed.
No.
Sam wonders why they can't plant closer to the shore. Then they wouldn't have to carry it so far. If you put your plants too close to the shore, they'll be uncovered at low tide and the sun will burn the crop. In each area, Tara does a series of tests. These are to check the water movement, the temperature, and the salinity. That's how much salt's in the water. But remember, you don't have to be a scientist. Ask for help. And after a while, you'll soon have a good idea of the best conditions. Tara's now identified 3 different locations which may be suitable. So now's the time to prepare some test lines. Choosing the best site is probably the most important thing you'll do. If you don't take care, you'd waste an awful lot of time and effort and get very little back. But if you're careful, you'll soon be able to watch your money grow.
There's one important thing about other Pacific countries. Don't put your seaweed near the mouth of the river. The fresh water and the mud will kill your seaweed.
But that's not a problem in Kiribati. We don't have any rivers. The first 2 sites show good results. Now let's look at number 3. As you can see, after only 3 weeks, it's already grown well. It's healthy, so this is a good spot to plant your seaweed. Good. So now we can start growing our own money. Seaweed farming is ideal for you and your family. It's something you can all do together. Choose a nice shady spot and have a picnic. And even if you only do 1 new line a day, it all adds up. There are at least 2 ways of laying out your farm. In Kiribati, we favor the Indonesian method. You don't have to cut so many stakes, but this will depend on your local conditions and expert advice. The new lines are now left for the next 30 to 40 days, and nature will do most of the work. But you do need to check them at least twice a week to remove any dead plants and keep an eye out for anything which could destroy your plants. We keep monitoring the crop, and from time to time we harvest. Whenever we harvest, we'd replace the old line with new seedlings. It's ongoing. In a good week, we'd gather 20 to 30 sacks. In the past, we've often treated our reefs very badly. Pollution and taking so much of the bechemer has been very harmful. On the other hand, seaweed farming is very good for the environment. It actually puts life back into the reef. It's really good with our family now. Every day after school, we do our chores and then we go down and prepare new lines. We do what we can, even the little ones. We're all working together towards a common goal. Harvesting is another stage where you need to take special care. Because it's high tide, Sam's borrowed a friend's dinghy to help the men carry the harvest in. Once again, for the next 3 or 4 days, Mother Nature does her work.
Hindi apa yang anda sekasini apa sini tu?
Aja. Mari kita kasih ini begini ini apa? Yang anda kau umat. Kita wana jadi. Oh, saya jangan lagi. Aku nak mudi banyak je nak aku apa nak aku.
Okay?
That's 30 kilos. Now let's weigh the rest. Well, thanks very much for such a great effort with your first harvest. And that's worth $120. Really? That's how much we've earned? That's wonderful. And now I'll count out your money. And so after lots of hard work, the taste of victory is very sweet. And it's only a start.
So it's true, I can grow my own money?
Yes, of course, so long as you choose the right spot and take good care at every stage.
Right, I'm off.
Hey, where are you going?
What do you think? I wanted to be rich. I wanted to be a millionaire.
For further information about seaweed farming in your country, contact your local fisheries or agricultural authorities.